Welcome, 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 Worldwide Derby fans. You have just joined us in time. Me, Meat Biscuit, and beside me here in the commentary box is Chips and Gravy.
It's good to be back with you, Meat Biscuit. Fulfilling all the dietary requirements of the announcing feed. We have an interesting match coming up, do we not?
We certainly do. This is the ultimate battle-off for third place between the powerhouses of Brisbane, Northern Brisbane Rollers and Brisbane City Rollers.
And the whistle's blown, the first jam is off, and we have NBR as lead jam for the first jam.
Number 41, Lil Gee Unit.
And Lil Gee Unit was doing some spectacular jamming yesterday. Back-to-back, every second jam, she was just consistent in her approach to the jamming, and let's see if she can do that same thing today.
Straight away, Anna WrexYa has been unfortunately done for a cut to seize in the penalty box. That gives, straight off the bat, Northern Brisbane Rollers an awesome chance for a power jam.
Power jam!
Now, just while this is going on, we're running it live a bit late, so what we'll do is just quickly go through who is actually here in the team. Now, for Brisbane City Rollers, we have number 11, Fang Fiend, number 12, Under Siege, 13, Wonder Witch, 14, ThundaPuss, 162, Florence The Machine, 2, Bloody Laces, 22, Duchess of Hazard, 242, Little Mermaid, number 29, Knoxville, 313, KimboKazee, 32, Slash Your Heart Scarebear, 40, Unforgiving Bunny.
Another 5-point pass there, by the way, while you're at it.
Yes, there is another. It's just all happening. NBR powered away to 14 points within 2 minutes of opening. Now, number 72, Vixxxen. Number 78, Anna WrexYa, who is currently in the penalty box but is standing up, ready to enter the field. And number 99, Narsty. Your captain is number 72, Vixxxen. Now, Chips and Gravy will just quickly run through the NBR Superstars.
Yeah, representing NBR today, we have Dicey Riley, number 11H, SX, number 180, Stixx N Bones, 182, Beth Adder at number 20, Iron Thighs, 244, Rockatilly on 268, Fe-fe Ferocious, number 3, Jambi at number 32, Long Lash Massacre, 357, Cherie Todd, number 4, Naughty Courty, number 40, Lil Gee Unit, number 41, who just had a spectacular first power jam there.
Yeah, 23 points already on the board for NBR.
Trauma Junkie at number 42, Brandee Snaps, number 505, Janosaurus Wrecks, number 65, Brutal Deluxe, 76, Slaggedy Anne at 711, Annabelle Lecter, number 8, Crystal Mess, 83, your captain for today, Beth Adder at number 20, Annabelle Lecter, the alternate, and Raspberry Bullet and Road Gun taking up the bench spaces for the NBR today as we're off on Jam 2.
Yes, we currently have lead jammer number 505, Brandee Snaps for Northern Brisbane Rollers, and number 22, Duchess of Hazard for BCR.
Yeah, Duchess of Hazard was putting on a fine display yesterday afternoon. Plenty of speed off that girl, and she just works so well in that jam position, doesn't she?
Oh, she certainly does. Now, both teams had hard-fought games yesterday, so it's going to be a battle to the death. Chips and Gravy to see who works out for third this year.
I think we actually have a really tightly, evenly matched game for third and fourth places today, so this could get very, very interesting. Trauma Junkie number 42 jamming for NBR.
And
Flo.
Number 162,
Florence The
Machine. Now, last year, NBR came second, unfortunately not being able to take on powerhouse of SSRG. But this year they're fighting for fourth after being beaten by Paradise City Roller Derby yesterday. Now, BCR, I believe, came fourth last year. So they're desperate to see if they can get themselves a jump ahead of a standing this year.
Get one more step up those rank ladder. Oh, I can see Raspberry Bullet in the bench position there, looking fantastic today.
Like an Elvis-ette. So hopefully just keep a lookout for a Derby fans with the camera when it swings that way. She has a blue cape on and awesome white boots. Yeah, both jammers doing it pretty tough. Florence The Machine just approaching the back of the pack and manages to get through because no one really noticed her, but so quickly the NBR Brawl Stars wall of black just waterfalls all the way to the front again.
And Florence The Machine breaks through as she gets lapped there by Trauma Junkie and takes a big spill and gets intimate with the floorboards once again.
2-4-4 on thighs. Always in plenty of action with the swinging around of the booty.
She loves it, doesn't she?
She does. She certainly does. Yeah, she's a brutal performer on thighs. Has been in the Australian team once or twice, I believe. Maybe just once. But always a punishment like a wrecking ball going through fresh meat is on thighs.
She was definitely not afraid of dealing out the punishment yesterday, and I'm certain that she's ready to deal it out today as well. As Florence The Machine breaks through the pack. She is not lead jammer, but she has made it through. I believe that's still her initial pass.
That was her initial pass.
So no points for her on that one. NBR sitting on 40 and BCR still yet to get a point on the board.
Still got a donut that needs eating, but number 78, Anna WrexYa, stepping up for a jam, desperately trying to do something about getting some points on the board for her beloved team.
And facing up against Slaggedy Anne, number 711, jamming for NBR today.
Now there's a red wall with Bloody Laces and ThundaPuss on the outsides. Looks like they have some sort of set play they've got worked out.
Yeah, Bloody Laces is definitely poised for the position there, pushing up the inside, creating a gap for her jammer. But it's done the opposite. It's created a gap for the other team's jammer, and NBR is through with lead jam, Slaggedy Anne.
And so is Anna WrexYa. She gets through cleanly as well and in hot pursuit
on the heels.
Slaggedy Anne.
Veruccassault taking up the outside of the BCR pack. Doesn't let the jammer through at all, so no points on that one.
Yes, decided just to call it off. As we know, Derby fans, there is more jams than a nursing home. Still to be seen today. For those that were got up nice this morning, we just had an awesome display.
Oh wow!
Of men's roller derby this morning. The speed, the slap of meat as they ran into each other has just been awesome. So many spalls, so many jums,
there was so much action, so much damage too.
There was. And everyone walks away not even touched.
As I was saying yesterday on the news feed, men's roller derby is a whole different story to women's roller derby. The women's roller derby has finesse, it has style, it has grace, it has a good amount of lycra. Whereas men's roller derby, there's too much lycra. Any lycra is too much, but it has brutality.
It does. Brutality, blunt force trauma, and
damage.
Skating and hating. And speaking of skating, that's been an awesome 5-point pass there. For Brandee Snaps, number 505 for NBR Brawl Stars.
And just casually approaching the block line there and just pushing away through. The defense of the NBR, beautiful on that one, just holding their wall back and causing a no pack to be called by the ref, so they have to yield and let Brandee Snaps through.
Yes, Duchess of Hazard almost finished her time in the penalty box for a cut earlier on.
And KimboKazee sent to the penalty box for her troubles.
But approaching the back of the pack now, tentatively, is Brandee Snaps. Now on thighs, skating back, trying to extend the pack so no one can put any hits on Brandee Snaps, which is an awesome idea on thighs, a powerhouse of derby, being pivot, calling it from the back.
And Brandee Snaps just pushing the hips past the last member of BCR before she calls that jam off, just to get those extra points. Some very smart skating.
Yeah, now, still with a power jam going on, number 41, Lil Gee Unit for the Northern Brisbane Brawl Stars.
And there's a tight pack on this one, right on the pivot line.
SN NBR has a slight advantage because there is a short pack for Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers. But number 2, Bloody Laces, putting on the pain to Lil Gee Unit, making her yield a fair way back, at least 30-40 metres on that occasion. Yards, I should say, whichever way it is.
Right around the apex too, which makes it a whole lot more distance for her around the outside of that part of the track.
That's it. Duchess of Hazard came blasting out of the penalty box and is in hot pursuit of Lil Gee Unit. They both have had passes. Lil Gee Unit has even had her scoring pass.
Some amazing skating there from Lil Gee Unit. Goes up on one foot, throws the hips forward, and calls the jam just before the opposing jammer can get any points in. Beautiful display. Looks like we got naughty courty, number 40. No, they're switching panties, and Iron Thighs 244 now is going to be jamming for NBR in this one.
Yes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Duchess of Hazard, just as the whistle blows, had a out-of-play block, and she has been, unfortunately for the Brawl Stars, sent back to the penalty box.
And what does that mean?
We have a power jam.
We have a power jam.
That surely does. Now, as we go around again, on thighs, number 244. Everyone looking back at her, with scared looks on their faces as she approaches the wall of red and just barges her way through it. KimboKazee doing an outstanding job slowing On Thighs down at least, but On Thighs 5 points.
And another member from BCR, Anna WrexYa, has been sent to spend some time in the bin, taking the blocking pack of BCR on the track down to just 3 members.
Now, On Thighs is doing a bang-up job here as jammer. She scored
Absolutely.
This will be her 20th point if she can get through.
And the bench seems pretty happy about that one. Raspberry Bullet is pulling, Bullet is pulling out all the dance moves.
It's Bullet if you're in France.
Yeah. I asked her yesterday, actually, because I hadn't met her before, and I asked her if it was supposed to be Raspberry Bullet, as in...
Brulee or...
Well, no, more of a pun on the Prince song, Raspberry Beret.
True, yes.
That's what I thought it could have been, but no, it's named after her favourite sweet lolly. And
Raspberry Bullets.
Can't go wrong with that, can you really?
And she has such nice teeth to be a Raspberry Bullet lover. But now for Brisbane City Rollers, number 2, Bloody Laces.
And Slaggedy Anne, number 711 for NBR.
Now Bloody Laces is Janosaurus Wrecks is standing right in front of Bloody Laces. Oh, and we have an official timeout being called.
We do. And we've got, apparently there's a lot of action going down on our chat feed on Derby News Network number 2. A lot of fans out there for Flo, it looks like, and Puss, and BCR. And yes, that is right, Raspberry is looking very good. She must have got on the camera a minute ago. I didn't notice that one. But yeah, definitely action-packed. But NBR pulling a big lead out so early in the game, 82 to fights nothing.
Yes, and it looks like Raspberry Bullet has been spotted by Annabelle Lecter, and I agree, looking very good. Awesome boots, awesome Elvis outfit.
And all of her signals from the bench today could very much be mistaken for dance moves, the way she's pulling those off.
Yes, air pumping. And now we have Honest Dave out in the middle, waiting, seeing what's happening with this.
See what the official call is from the official Zebra committee.
Yeah, we're just getting the word from Honest Dave. Yeah. Yes, now there has been one of the players from BCR was taking an apex jump. An NBR player brought them down while they were in the air, which gives them a minute in the penalty box. Now, later on, live fans will be hearing the dulcet tones of Honest Dave when he's up there commentating with KO for the ultimate Grand Slam match of the Tropicarnage Cup 2030 in the grand final. Paradise City versus the powerhouse that is Sun State Roller Girls. The Swarm. Yeah, it's a very hot day down here for anyone who is
shocking hot.
Actually around Amoreville, Caboolture or D-Bay. It's about 37 degrees down here at Roller Derby Central. You can even see people sitting there panting and sweating already with only 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, that would be me.
And myself as well. Yeah, these polyester shirts do not do justice.
Really? I had to forego the polyester today for my own personal safety and the personal safeties of those people with noses around me.
Yes, I'll be ditching mine as soon as possible. Now, we're still a lot of working out happening in the middle. There may or may not be an NBR play being sent to the bin in a second.
It does look like a very contentious one. There's lots of expressive gestures happening from the referee's hands at the moment, and you can tell that's a tense moment.
It is. Well, there's everything on the line. Third place is on the line. The refs do not want to call anything wrong, but they are under the watchful eye of Harry Spotter.
Harry Spotter sitting on the bench at the far end of the track.
He hasn't actually stood up yet, so he doesn't seem too concerned about what's going on.
No, he is wiping the sweat from his brow, though, but that's not because of tension. It's just because it is stinking in here.
Oh, it certainly is.
And I'm not just referring to Carnage's pits after he's just skated in the men's roller derby earlier.
Yes, and speaking of, it's an awesome display of Carnage. Now, we saw him 10 minutes ago. He was skating around like a hardcore person, and now, and just coming in a word from Honest Dave now.
Let's listen in.
Yes, now that is correct. Now, Black 244, which is on thighs, will be copping a minute in the bin, and on thighs at that stage was the jammer. So that gives Bloody Laces number 2 a power jam all for herself.
Let's see what we can do with Bloody Laces. BCR still yet to put any points on the board. This looks like the best opportunity they've got so far in this game. And Janosaurus Wrecks looks like she's copped a false start, so she has to backtrack. Oh, wow, this is a tense start. They hadn't even got off the line. We've got one false start and one person sent to the bin before they've even moved off the line. That's it's tense.
It is tense now. Bloody Laces just getting composed almost through the wall with Fe-fe Ferocious holding her back. And so almost through now, using the shoulder, trying to well away hard now. BCR is actually holding up Janosaurus Wrecks, but now she is through and she is now lead jammer. Now game on for power jam for BCR Punk Blockers.
Janosaurus Wrecks taking a big hit there and then getting done for a track cut coming back in too early. Didn't yield. So we've got Janosaurus Wrecks heading to the bin.
Yeah, there must have only been just a toe stop in that one as well. Janosaurus unlucky, but the referees are not giving anything away today. Now on thighs approaches the back of the pack. No one has yet seen her come out of the pack, and she goes straight up the guts.
Iron thighs with a pass,
but not lead jammer. But she has made her initial pass.
Bloody Laces still. Looks like we've got some points for BCR.
We have an awesome
points on the board. Congratulations, BCR.
The donut has been eaten, and a big donut it was, but 4 points on the board. Awesome work. BCR Punk Blockers off the mark and on the board. Now we just still have about 17 minutes left in this jam. Oh, and again we have another official.
Yeah, certainly the refs being very careful to make sure that they're making the best decisions possible for all the players today. Number Cruncher, I believe, is our head ref for this bout, and she does a fantastic job.
She certainly does. She's been reffing, all these refs have been reffing at least, we had 12 games so far. So a lot of refs have been doing a lot of reffing work. And there's a huge big shout out to all the new refs that have come all the way from all the leagues. Some of the leagues aren't even playing in the Tropicarnage Cup, but they still made their way down to get the glory of having refereed the largest regional roller derby event in Australia.
They are committed, and they're keen. And but Tropicarnage is a good one to have under your belt, especially for this region.
Yes.
Honest Dave bringing coffees out to the refs. I know.
No, I think he's just giving himself a coffee. Honest Dave does like a coffee, so skulking back to where he was sitting up there.
He got sent off the track. Brandee Snaps lining up to jam for NBR. And I believe that's Anna WrexYa lining up to jam for BCR.
It certainly is Anna WrexYa again. Anna WrexYa, powerhouse of Brisbane Roller Derby.
Anna WrexYa getting a little bit of a lead there, but slips to the outside as Brandee Snaps pushes up the inside, gets lead jammer for NBR, and his way out of front. It looks like Anna WrexYa's been sent.
Yeah, she did not enter behind the blocker, so she has been done for a cut and is in the penalty box. Doesn't look too happy about it, but it gives an NBR Brawl Stars also a opportunity for a power jam, and 5 points has just been scored.
And this is a beautiful illustration of a point we were talking about yesterday. In fact, that a lot of the matches we've seen over this weekend have been very, very evenly contested as far as the skating abilities and skills and defense of each particular team. But the points are being won on the power jams.
They certainly are. It is really the only opportunity to get a free chance to score 3 points.
So essentially the best defense for any of these teams is to try and keep as many numbers as you can on the track and not in the penalty box.
And not risk a jammer going in for a penalty and giving away a power jam. But you are damn straight about that. Chips and gravy. Oh, now here we go. There is a forearms has been put on number 505, Brandee Snaps. She's just about to sit down, and Anna WrexYa has been released. So is again game on for BCR.
Power jam. The power jam's been overturned, and BCR have got it. Let's see if they can get some points on the board.
Yes, Anna WrexYa taking full advantage of that, and it's now through for her initial pass. And currently on the derby track at the moment, NBR Brawl Stars only have two lonesome blockers. Now Anna goes through for another 5-point grand slam, and she still has
beautiful work.
Awesome work with that. Now, teams have come all the way for as far north as Cairns and as far south as Lismore, and I hate to say it, as far west as Ipswich. Which is not that far west.
No need to use that kind of language, mate.
But it is still west. Now, taking full advantage now of these powers.
I believe they come as far east as the Sunshine Coast as well.
Far east of Sunshine Coast, that's exactly right. All the way
from all over.
All over. Now, number 22, Duchess of Hazard, has her own power jam session now and trying to take full advantage of it because Brawl Stars still only have 2 lonesome defenders.
Wow.
But one of them is on thighs, so she's equivalent to about 8.
Yep, absolutely. She's not one of them, she's 8 of them.
Now, Trauma Junkie making Duchess of Hazard yield a fairway back just while gives a chance for NBR to get a nice black wall up the front.
And we have the jammer re-entering the pack, so that power jam is no longer a power jam.
No, Brandee Snaps come in flying. She's getting a huge hole made for her.
But Duchess of Hazard has lead jam, scored. Oh, that's her initial pass, I'm sorry. So let's see if Brandee Snaps can even the scores a little bit for BCR right now. But the pack has sped up ridiculously, especially considering the heat that's going on here. But that's a very good strategic move. No points scored.
But 1 point scored for Brisbane City Rollers, gleaning 1 point there, which puts them up into double figures now. Currently BCR on 10 points, but Northern Brisbane Rollers on 95.
All right, Lil Gee Unit out there for the ball starts at number 68, Veruccassault.
Now getting ready for the next jam, we have number 68, Veruccassault. I believe this is her first jam for this event. Today, anyway, at least.
And I know we've got some fans out there in the interweb world watching in and even weighing in on the chat feed, so get in there and leave us some comments, and we'll be checking that.
Yes,
but there's some fans out there of Geek, I know that much. There was last night, but you'll be happy to know Geek is in the penalty box right now. I believe he's jam timing, so send him some love because he's got his work cut out for him today.
That's it. There is nothing the Geek cannot do. He was helping me add up numbers yesterday, but Lil Gee Unit going around the outside for a 5-point grand slam as signalled by HB Shovecraft, who we just previously saw skating in the men's derby event.
These guys don't stop, do they?
They certainly don't.
Geek doesn't stop either. He was up here just before this bout, fixing some things that I broke on the doohickey with the thingamajig on the computer.
Yeah. Oh, the computer, that's what it is. Yeah, the thingamajiggy bob.
Yeah. I think I snapped the what's it with the Interbites web.
You geek, didn't see you touching his stuff. Deono's video bomb is onto you.
Canage broke it, not me.
Canage broke it.
Let's blame him. He can't hear us.
Now we got number 22, Duchess of Hazard for the NBR.
I believe this is the first jam.
Rolls Punk Blockers. And
first jam for SX?
It is first jam for SX from NBR Brawl Stars. And instantly makes her mask felt, bringing number 22, Duchess of Hazard, down on the jammer line. Yeah, both
SX doing an amazing job weaving her way through the pack, taking some big hits and counter hitting. And she gets lead jam. SX on her first jam. Well done. Just as Duchess of Hazard chasing her, doing all the best she can, but she's still not clear of the pack.
No,
still copping big hits.
Yeah, Iron Thighs, Janosaurus Wrecks are up there putting on the pain.
Iron Thighs and Janosaurus Wrecks is a formula for damage.
It is a formula for damage. It certainly is. But somehow manages to get through Duchess of Hazard. And she's now through for her initial pass.
She looks exhausted, and she's getting followed by a stripy seagull, which means she has not got lead jammer, and there's all that energy expended for nothing. She gets no points on that pass.
And just right on the end, I think Anna WrexYa may have just been caught for a back block. Just means that just touch someone as the whistle, where now we have a team timeout called by BCR. It may be something to do with that back block we just saw, but we'll have to wait for Honest Dave to get up and go and tell us what is going on down in the centre. And
Geek is expressively explaining something in the middle of the ring there, so it's got some heated discussions going on penalty box wise.
Got number crunches coming over.
Janosaurus Wrecks got 2 minutes apparently. She's just held up.
Enthusiasm. Now you'll see a couple of these guys sitting on the track having a little bit of a powwow. I'm not sure if they're talking about the after party or if they're talking about dirty or if they're talking about which coast.
Yeah, you might be able to hear the dulcet tones over the commentary box from Canage and Johnny Pistol. Yes, it's going to actually feel strange, Derby fans, not having Johnny Pistol announcing with Honest Dave for the grand final. I know Honest Dave was a little bit sad about this last night, but Paradise City blowing Northern Brisbane away yesterday, and soon to go up against Sun State in approximately hour and a half's time.
And Jam is on for Jam 13. And NBR's got the lead.
Florence The Machine trying to fight her way through, which she does on the second turn. Her first pass on the inside line, easily done now. Both jammers skating very fastly, trying to catch up to the back of the pack.
Yeah, Trauma Junkie approaches the back of the pack. She's only got two blockers from BCR to contend with. Slips past, nice little transition, throws her hips backwards and puts the hands down on the hips, signalling the end of that jam.
That's
before BCR can get any more points on the board.
The old hit it and quit chips and gravy. If you can get 4 points and limit the other team to none, that's the most awesome thing to do. But Bloody Laces wants to come and have a go. And I think it's number 40, Naughty Courty's first jam of today as well.
Yeah, no, she was jamming before, yep. So, I believe second jam for Naughty Courty, number 40. You can't say a name without saying that, can you?
And being richly awarded as lead jammer, number 40, Naughty Courty.
Oh, we have some shrapnel blowing onto the track.
Oh, yes, we do. We have
a skater down too. There's damage to the facial area of Bloody Laces. Not sure exactly what's going on at the moment, but she's taken herself off the track and she's on her knees, reeling over in pain.
No, she just got done for a cut as she got hit in the head. Now, she's touching her nose, and hopefully there's not any blood coming out of that, but the medics are having a look at her as we speak. No, she does. She now has actually...
Bloody Laces has got a bloody face.
Bloody Laces has got a bloody nose. Doesn't seem to be too serious. There's not too much claret flowing into the tissue. So, but it was a hit to the head, which is quite unfortunate for Bloody Laces.
And the wonderful people from St. John's medics coming and bringing her the magical ice pack.
Yes, and a big shout out to the St. John's Ambulance, the event medics who are here today.
We like to have them not do any work at all.
That's exactly it, but if you do lose teeth or arms and legs, they are there within a few seconds to come and sort you out. But now, Naughty Courty just being held up there by Anna WrexYa. But managed to go past because Slash Your Heart Scarebear just got done for an out-of-play block, just as no pack was called.
Alright, so we will start this jam with 2 jammers out there. We've got number 68.
And Raspberry Bullet on the bench for NBR seems very happy with the way things are going for NBR this afternoon. Big smiles on her face and lots of little dance moves in between.
Well, Derby fans, we have another team out. Dave, Honest Dave, jumps to action this time. I wonder what is going on out there this time. We have Veruccassault, number 68, jamming, ready to go. And number 180, SX. For the Northern Brisbane Rollers, Brawl Stars.
And we'll cross live to Honest Dave in the thick of things.
And seems Bob, our resident nerd for the DNN feed today, is doing an amazing job sorting out the feed. There's been some issues with some jumpy feed. There is some horrible reception here, as I understand it, here at Morayfield. I won't advertise who's not giving us good work, but he's doing a great job of sorting those problems out. So, yeah, be patient with them, and I do understand that they all are being archived, so you can check them out later on, even if you can't get them now.
And now Sweet Fanny Adams, Bloody Laces, is out of the penalty box, and I can actually see her just relaxing back down there with a tissue and a bit of ice.
And SX with a big smile on her face. She has an almost full track lead as lead jammer on this particular one. And BCR is still yet to make their way through the pack. Veruccassault struggling to get past the defense of NBR. As SX makes her way through again through the pack. Veruccassault has made her way out, but this is still her initial pass. Some jammer on jammer action there. Lots of pushing, lots of shoving. And SX calls it just to rub a salt in the wound of Veruccassault.
I just updated Sweet Fanny Adams, but she's just sitting at the back in the Yes, but I will repeat now for those fans who are worried about Bloody Laces. She did take a small hit to the head, and then she's just sitting back. She's had medical treatment. She's sitting back, just have a slight little blood nose, and it looks like it's about cleared up because she has taken the ice off her head, and it's just sort of rubbing her nose now, the tissue, but it looks like whatever little bit of blood there was has now cleared up, and she's looking sort of all happy again, so hopefully she'll be getting back to the game in the very near future.
Some good news for NBR though. Brandee Snaps, is that right? Yes, Brandee Snaps, lead jammer, has made her initial passes, making her way through the pack of BCR,
and followed behind
it off
by Duchess of Hazard.
A tidy 4 points for NBR on that one.
Yeah, there's been so much action, Derby fans. We're down to 5 minutes left in the first half.
And you're getting some love on the chat feed there, Meaty, for clarifying the claret issue of Bloody Laces, Bloody Faces.
Yes, no, she's sort of talking to everyone now. She's actually got the tissue away, and she might even, hopefully, will return to the game very soon.
And Iron Thighs with some fancy footwork there on the inside of the track. Doing a fine job of blocking today, Iron Thighs. Definitely keeping Florence the Machine at bay there for quite almost an entire lap of the track. But Florence the Machine breaks through. Iron Thighs with the chase, but gets called off. Florence the Machine out in front with lead jam on her initial pass.
It was an awesomely hard battle, and it was really hard done by, but now Fe-fe Ferocious, Long Lack Massacre come back off the penalty box almost simultaneously to stiffen up the defence for Northern Brisbane Rollers.
And Lil Gee Unit jamming for NBR on this one. Does not have lead jammer status, still sitting at the back of the pack when the jam is called. No points for her. 3 points for BCR.
And for those worried about Bloody Laces, she's still got to put the ice back on now, but in the halftime break, we will go down and find out how she is. And we will definitely pass on that everybody is worried about her status.
And we have SX on her third jam for today.
And number 22, Duchess of Hazard, almost forcing her way through the black wall, but
if technique and finesse doesn't work, brute force.
Blunt force trauma does. It certainly does, Chips and Gravy.
Oh, and SX breaks through, gets lead jam again today. Big smile on her face. She's very happy about that one.
And now Duchess of Hazard is clear through. I think everyone was worried about holding up Duchess of Hazard, and SX just went straight around the outside.
Distraction is key.
Distraction is key.
And as the jam off.
It's like in basketball where you have to throw the psych before anything can happen.
Absolutely. No points awarded for BCR on that one. I believe that was 2 for NBR. Praying Man, he's a big fan of Flo. Flo has an amazing skater and is doing some very hard work. Not only that, she contributes to the Derby family and the whole thing. I was NSOing with her in the box the other day. She knows her way around this game.
Yeah, it's awesome. You yourself, Chips and Gravy, getting around doing everything you can possibly do.
I get around a little bit. Speaking of getting around, Florence The Machine out in front with lead jammer. Again jamming for BCR, doing a fantastic job. And Praying Manny, hope you're happy with that one. Flo is doing an amazing job.
You can see Ace Vegas there, geeing on Florence as much as she can. Oh, Florence calls it off as she gets thrust into the first turn, but that was an awesome 5-point pass.
Trauma Junkie not scoring any points on that, but copping a forearm.
Yes.
Well, not copping a forearm, but
giving one out.
Right, and being sent to the penalty box to spend a minute there thinking about what she's done.
And that gives Veruccassault, number 68, a power jam of her lonesome.
And looks like we might be lining up for a sweeper here, possibly.
Yeah, there is some sort of set play going on. ThundaPuss just holding back, and there we go. Keeping the centre line, trying to bust a hole in. Veruccassault coming up on speed, trying to bust a hole.
Oh, she's got to contend with Janosaurus Wrecks.
Yes,
got a can open and a big hit to the face.
And Janosaurus Wrecks gets done for a high block.
She's not happy about that one, but Janosaurus Wrecks had a bit of a cheeky smile on her face as she head off the track there.
It's like, is it what? I did something?
Did I? No. Did some damage is what she did. Veruccassault, though, out in front with a lot of speed, heading to the back of the pack. A diminished pack of only 2 blockers.
Goes her scoring pass, and 5 points for Veruccassault. Now BCR fans are going nuts. You can hear Canage in the background, I hope, going nuts.
Fe-fe Ferocious heads to the floor and polishes those floorboards with her knees as they're jostling to get Veruccassault through.
No pack has been called, but Slaggedy Anne hits Veruccassault out, but Veruccassault decides, instead of yielding, she'll just call it off.
I ain't yielding, she says. Veruccassault, no yielding for her. I'm just going to call this off. That'll learn him.
Yes, and the crowd is giving up for Veruccassault, and now Florence 162, and there is another official timeout being called.
But our internet fans, Praying Mandy especially, will be happy about this one. Florence The Machine looks like she's up to jam again for BCR. I think they're very happy with the work she's doing for them today, and that's obvious. As the Zebra Pack, I was going to say congeals. That's probably a good word for it on a day like today. It's hot. But as they get together in the middle there discussing what's going down, Honest Dave's stuck in there, looking very seedy and a little bit mischievous.
He is. What is he doing in there? He loves getting amongst it, our Honest Dave. Now, but some other good news I can see from the Brisbane City Rollers team area. I can see Bloody Laces with her helmet back on, and I do believe she has a jammer panty in her hand. It might not be for this half, but it looks like she's getting ready to come back on for the second half, so hopefully everything is okay for Bloody Laces.
I don't understand the prizes in front of me, but there are some incredibly delicious prizes to be won. And back to you, Dave.
Raspberry Presley here reckons that she saw a Brisbane City roller here on turn 3, a Brisbane City roller blocker back blocked their jammer. That's right.
Now, just waiting to hear from Dave now.
Number crunchers taking to the ref field side, and they're going to discuss whether they agree.
Yeah, so far the issue is that Raspberry Bullet, the benchy for NBR, has reported to the referees that she has seen a member of BCR back blocking their jammer on the apex of the turn here. So the referees are currently discussing that. And that's about where we're at the moment.
And we are down to our last pretty much 15 seconds, so there may be one more jam. But we'll see what happens. There's some referees putting their heads together down there, just seeing what's happening.
And we're going to get an update from Honest Dave. I hope.
Number cruncher acknowledges that there was impact to the jammer back and that the jammer did fall. However, it was not due to the impact when the jammer fell, so no penalties applied.
Now, the head ref realises that, yes, there was impact, but did not fall due to the impact, so it still does stand. Now, number...
Florence copped lead jam there, but then got sent to the bin.
Yes, for a back block, speaking of back blocks, which gives Brandee Snaps 505 her very own power jam. Now, Anna WrexYa thought she was pinged for the back block, so she headed off towards the penalty box as well.
Did you see that?
Just straight through, just a huge big block.
An amazing... Was that goading? Is that what that was?
Goading, I believe it is.
That 3 players from NBR completely surrounded the single and only blocker from BCR that was on the track, and just jammer went through unopposed.
Yeah,
beautiful display.
Janosaurus was trying to do it again, and WrexYa sees the trap being sprung, so skates forward. But she was out of play, and WrexYa had to yield.
Looks like she's been sent
to
the bin for a trouble too.
There must have been a little bit of contact just as she went past Anna WrexYa on that. Anna WrexYa very unlucky on that occasion.
Half time, ladies and gentlemen. Score is sitting at 178 to NBR and 27 to BCR. NBR taking a big lead on the scoreboard, but as I said earlier, I don't believe the skating and what we're seeing on the track here doesn't really reflect the effort putting in by BCR at the moment. All the points are being racked up in the power jams, Meat Biscuit. What do you think?
Oh, certainly, there certainly is. Now, myself, Meat Biscuit, will sign off, and I'll go and try and find out how Bloody Laces is, so in the second half we can get back to you and let you know.
Folks, stick around. There will be some halftime interviews. Hopefully, we have 14 minutes on the clock ready, though. So if you need a pee break, if you need to get some drinks or food, or even just crank up the aircon a bit more at home, go do that now, because you have 14 minutes until the action comes back to the Morayfield Action Centre.
Yeah, Honest Dave apparently has a nice little roundup, and here he comes now, so there must be something going on for you Derby fans. So, Honest Dave, you got something going on for halftime? Yeah, Honest Dave does have something going on for halftime. He gives me the wink and the pistol symbol, so that means he is good to go. And welcome, Honest Dave, live to the internet.
G'day, Meat Biscuit. How's it going up here?
It is awesome up here. Such exciting happening this morning. There's been men's derby, BCR versus NBR, the powerhouse jams. Everything's going on. Everything's going on.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been down there with the NSOs and ref crew, and they're keeping a tight ship down there as well.
Oh, an extremely tight ship. There's been a few reviews, so they're not letting anything get past. No one wants to risk 1 point at the end of this game making the difference.
No, as they say, you don't want to be talking about the refs on Monday. Hang on. It is Monday.
It is Monday. Next Monday. But everyone will be forgotten by then, so it's all okay. Now, I'm just going to quickly go find and see get some status on Bloody Laces, because the internet fans are going insane with worry about her. So I will return very soon, but I'll leave it over to Honest Dave.
Good on you, Meat Biscuit. It's all... oh, no. Yeah, I don't know if anyone watched little spiel last night. There are lots of comments that I looked like I was on drugs while I was on the while I was talking. In fact, there's people chucking stuff at me off the side of the screen and waving pink flamingos and stuff at me. Yes, we are here, day 3 of the 2013 Tropicarnage Cup here at the Moray Field Leisure Centre. We are currently looking at the 3rd place finals between the Brisbane City Rollers and the Northern Brisbane Rollers. Massive upset yesterday evening, but we'll get to that. So I'd just like to spend this time, it's one of the last opportunities we'll have to do this, and I'll just do a quick recap during half-time of the last 3 days of the Tropicarnage Cup, which is, of course, the toughest regional tournament in the country, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Saturday morning, our first match was between the Potluck team and the Northern Rivers Roller Derby, which Northern Rivers, a very strong team from northern New South Wales, hammered Potluck. Of course, most of the teams here are from Queensland. There's 11 teams competing, 9 of them from Queensland, 2 of them from northern New South Wales. Northern Rivers, a very powerful up-and-coming team based out of Lismore. Next up on Saturday, Tweed Valley went up against Coastal Assassins, and the Coastal Assassins won that game very convincingly. Next up, the Bay Rollers went up against Gladstone, and this was a hard-fought battle, which Gladstone ended up winning by only 6 points, but it definitely could have gone either way. Sometimes those games, it just depends on if it had finished a minute earlier or a minute later, it could have been the Bay Rollers winning. So that's going to be, hopefully we'll see a few more games between those two teams. It's I know Gladstone is a very remote, quite a remote town in Queensland, about 6 or so hours north from Brisbane, and it's hard for those regional centres to get some good competition because people have got to travel so far to get there. So the Bay Rollers from Byron Bay, they're not so isolated, but full credit to Gladstone for putting together such a powerful team. Next up, the Reef City Roller Girls from Cairns went up against Gold Coast. Gold Coast were last year's 3rd place getters in the Tropicarnage Cup, and they solidly defeated Reef City 185-77. Next up, the Brisbane City Rollers went up against Northern Rivers, and Northern Rivers fought till the bitter end. The Brisbane City Rollers beat them by 3 points. Brisbane City Rollers came 4th place in the last Tropicarnage, but as I mentioned earlier, the Northern Rivers Roller Derby, a really tough up-and-coming league. And the last game of day 1 was the newcomers in the region, Paradise City, going up against the Coastal Assassins, the winners of bout 2. And Paradise City absolutely smashed them in that game. Of course, Paradise City commenced as a split off the Gold Coast Roller Derby League earlier this year, and they are absolutely smashing it here at Tropicarnage. Come Sunday, yesterday, the first game was between Northern Brisbane Rollers and Gladstone. The Northern Brisbane Rollers automatically progressed to the second round because they came second last year, and they are one of the 3rd ranked team in the country, and they absolutely hammered Gladstone as to be expected, but the Gladstone team certainly did put up a valiant effort. The next game was the Sun State Roller Girls, last year's winners, who automatically progressed to the second round, and they gave Gold Coast an A-grade pummeling in that match as well. 1 p.m. game, Potluck went against Tweed, and who did win that? I believe Tweed won it, didn't they? These are the... I believe Tweed won that one. I hope so. Then there was Reef City against the Bay Rollers, and the Reef City won that by a good 400 points or so. Epic game. Then, at 5 p.m. last night, this was the really huge upset of the tournament. Paradise City, brand new team this year, split off Gold Coast, went up against the epic Northern Brisbane Rollers, and Paradise City came away with that win, which brought them into the grand final, which is next up after this game for the 2013 Tropicarnage Cup. Then 7 p.m. last night, the last game of the match of the day was the Sun State Roller Girls up against the Brisbane City Rollers, and the Sun State Roller Girls, a slick hive mind of a team, dismantled Brisbane City's defence. took away the win, and they too will be progressing to the grand final after this match. And this morning at 9 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, we opened with a men's derby challenge bout, which was always heaps of fun. It's a Tropicarnage tradition. And, sorry, Video Bob's giving me very unhelpful tips from off the screen there. But yes, this morning, 11 a.m, men's derby challenge bout between the white and black team. It was always great fun to watch the men in action. It's a really driving force in Brisbane at the moment. It's the men's derby is a huge competition at the moment. At the moment, we are watching the third place final between the Northern Brisbane Rollers and Brisbane City Rollers. So you can see by the scoreboard right now, 27 points to Brisbane City, 178 to Northern Brisbane Rollers. As we predicted, the Northern Brisbane Rollers are killing it out there on the track. And once this game is finished, we will be having the 2013 Tropicarnage Cup Grand Final right here at the Moray Field Leisure Centre. And this year it's going to be between the Sun State Roller Girls, 2 times winners of the Tropicarnage Cup already, and Paradise City from the Gold Coast, a brand new team. So, don't go anywhere, because this is where all the action is happening. The Tropicarnage Cup is definitely the toughest regional tournament in the country, and if you like Derby, you don't want to be anywhere else. And we are proud to be bringing this all to you live here on the Derby News Network.
Yes, Derby fans, my eyes indeed. Now we're back here, back at the after the halftime break with Meat Biscuit and Chips and Gravy.
Yes, I was about to say that, the people watching on the DNN live feed are missing out on all the action, and generally speaking, that's a bad thing. It's a lot more fun being down here, but some of the action that's going on up in the commentary booth here at the moment involves Kane with his pants off.
What you call it?
Yeah, well, loose. There's a loose term, but it's probably good that you're missing out on that action. But apparently not. It got on camera, and we apologise for that. This is supposed to be PG rated.
Now BCR Derby fans, Bloody Laces. I spoke to her myself. She is up and ready to go, and she will be taking back to her usual start in this next half.
And we have the first jam of the second period on. We have Lil Gee Unit, number 41, as lead jammer.
And Florence The Machine Brisbane City Rollers.
Making her way through the pack. Still copping a beating from Iron Thighs, but makes her way through. Iron Thighs forced to yield. No pack, calls the ref.
And number 41, Lil Gee Unit, gets a huge cut after being brought down on the fourth apex. So now, Brisbane City Rollers now has a power jam for 162. Florence The Machine, but doing all she can, because out there is Jambi putting on huge work. But now, actually, Vixxen's come up to try and bust a hole, give her help to bust a hole through, but doing a lot of hard work there. With Iron Thighs and Jambi manages to get around as the pack gets a little bit out of control, so she gets through for a 5-point pass. Florence The Machine.
Certainly living up to her name. She is a machine, especially considering the heat and the toll that should be taking on the skaters today. It's got to destroy them, doesn't it?
It does. I'm not even...
It's certainly destroying me up here in the box.
I'm barely moving and I'm being destroyed, but that's what Derby is all about.
Absolutely. It's massive destruction. And there she is. Florence pushes through for another 5 points.
Yeah, and that's 10 points so far for this jam.
And power jam is off. Lil Gee Unit joining her back on the track. Florence pushing up the inside. Lil Gee Unit looking for any gap that she can get. Being forced to yield by Anna WrexYa there. And Florence just pushing through, but Lil Gee Unit pushes on the outside and gets... Oh, she doesn't get lead jammer, sorry, but she's ahead of the pack. She's being waved at by a stripy seagull.
Yeah, Northern Brisbane Rollers trying to reverse their pack and go back a little bit, but now Lil Gee Unit has actually almost passed everyone except for two, almost a grand slammer, just didn't manage to pass the last two people.
Yeah, it looks like 3 points there.
It was 3 points and 2 points for BCR.
Yeah. Brandee Snaps, number 505, jamming for NBR on this run.
22, Duchess of Hazard for Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers.
Big hit of Janosaurus Wrecks on the outside of the track for NBR. And Brisbane City being forced to yield. Just Duchess of Hazard coming to her back, even beyond the pivot line where she started, just to get back from there. As Brandee Snaps pushes through with lead jammer coming up towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, Brutal Deluxe and Janosaurus Wrecks putting on heaps of pressure up the front, trapping almost half of the red team. People come from everywhere trying to put hits on Brandee Snaps, but to no avail. Goes around Veruccassault and goes around her own team now and has got through for a 5-point grand slam pass. Brandee Snaps 505, and she has now been lucky enough to have a power jam.
Yes, Duchess of Hazard being sent to the bin there after being corralled by the NBR blockers, like goated an entire lap of the track, which has got to take it out of you.
Yes, they put heaps of pressure on and just managed her to put a foot out and not coming back in the right defender. Who could you see? There's so many defenders there. You've got to pick the right one to come back around.
Forcing that penalty on Duchess of Hazard, but she's back out on the track now because the jammer for NBR has been sent to the bin. Short spell, she's standing again, and Brandee Snaps will be joining us again back on track now.
Yeah, Brandee Snaps only having to spend the time that Duchess was in the box for. Now, Duchess of Hazard catching up, number 22. getting ready to take an assault, but NBR trying to get a huge wall up. Brutal Deluxe up the front trying to get a huge wall up, but Brandee Snaps needs to go round again while plenty of action happening for a 4-point pass. Both jammers getting 4-point passes.
I'm not sure you can see. Can you tell who the jammer ref is for BCR there, Meat Biscuit?
HP Shovecraft.
There's an interesting interpretation of the not lead jammer hand gestures there from him. It's good to see the different types of moves that the different referees have.
They do.
His is less of a wounded seagull and more of a kind of a lineal voguing.
Well, with songs like we got played now, how could you not do voguing, I tell you?
I do like to move it.
And all those Derby fans that were worried about Bloody Laces, cast your eyes onto the Derby track now, because Bloody Laces number 2 is back jamming again.
We're getting an update from the head ref.
Yes, now Number Crunchers coming over,
telling
getting
us to turn the music down.
But it is not us. It is those other two. It is Canage and Johnny Pistol screaming out their fun. They are so excited, and why would they not be? But now he's turning the music down a little bit.
And now he's worried about his getting dissed on the live feed. Canage and Johnny Pistol doing a fantastic job commentating in-house here for us, and the excitement is just building and building and building. Speaking of excitement, Bloody Laces back on the track without the bloody face this time. Trauma Junkie heading up against her number 42 for NBR. And the jam is on.
Bloody Laces desperate to get back from where she left off, and she's forced her way through. What an awesome comeback, and takes out a high dice as well while she's at it. Just for something to
now that's an effort. She comes back with a vengeance and takes out not just any player but Iron Thighs.
And is coming around, skating back, almost coming back for her second scoring pass. Number 42, Trauma Junkie, still being held up in a pack by KimboKazee.
KimboKazee takes the fetal position.
But now, on Thighs again, putting heaps on Bloody Laces, but Bloody Laces gets another 4 points. So that has to be one of the most awesome comebacks I've ever seen in Derby. Goes from being a bloody noses to scoring points at free will against Northern Brisbane Rollers.
And it's good to see on the chat feed that the live broadcast of the Derby is doing a good job of helping people out there in the Derby world who can't make it here today to procrastinate from doing assignments and from getting work done. That's what we're here for, is to aid in that procrastination. And looks like we're back online. Sorry for the delay, people. Sorry for the little grey box.
But now we have SX 180. What you missed is Hurt powering away. Richly rewarded as lead jammer for Northern Brisbane Rollers Brawl Stars. But closely following behind her is number 162, Florence The Machine, the stalwart jammer extraordinaire of the Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers.
And an amazing display of blocking done by NBR there, pushing all of the blockers from the BCR team off the track past the apex there. That was pretty impressive.
That was certainly pretty impressive.
Massive display of strength there.
Now, I believe for the first jam today is Fang Fiend, number 11 for BCR. Now, I was reading the BCR's shout-out. They made a little booklet with all these cool shouts out. I can remember Fangs. This is my favourite song. It's like Fang, 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 Fang. Pretty much done to the theme of a Rocky.
And I love to say it, but Naughty Courty number 40 is jamming for NBR on this one. But she hasn't been able to make her way through the pack. You know who has?
No, Fang Fiend blasting her way past both On Thighs and Janosaurus Wrecks. But KimboKazee putting a huge hit there on number 40, Naughty Courty, and still keeping up the pressure.
Fang Fiend with an amazing amount of speed coming through up to the back of the pack.
Yes,
but the pack speed has sped up so much more. Janosaurus Wrecks looking to put a big hit on.
Yeah, she only finally noticed Fang Fiend come round then. And it was too much of an arc, so Fang Fiend decides to call it off, but getting a couple of points for the trouble. At the moment, we've got Brisbane City Rollers on 50, but Northern Brisbane Rollers 195 points with just over 21 minutes left in this. The fight to the death to the third placing at Moray Field Indoor Sports and action setter.
And Brandee Snaps, 505, lining up on the jam line. She seems familiar to this position. Vixxxen, number 72 for BCR, however. Is this her first jam?
No, she's had a jam before, I think. We keep getting confused with her.
It's all those X's in her name. That's distracting. It's like when the lines are too close together, it messes with your eyes.
Now, Veruccassault up there getting ready to put a huge booty block on Trauma Junkie and just forcing Jambi out of the way.
Oh, big hit on Vixxxen there from, who is that? Fucking Bones.
Stixx N Bones, yes.
Stixx N Bones.
No slowing down, but we still have the captain, number 72, Vixxxen, on a roll on all 8 wheels.
And there's that linear voguing going down from the jammer ref there.
Yes, HP Shovecraft showing his awesome moves. He must be some sort of artist or professor with moves like that.
Or maybe both.
Or maybe both, yes. Now 162, Florence The Machine, stepping up against 180 SX for Northern Brisbane Rollers Brawl Stars.
And we have a bit of a stacked penalty box at the moment. 3 ladies taking up the seats. 2 from BCR and 1 from NBR.
Yeah, so if anyone's playing online drinking games, you must be half cut by now. Look at those referees out there. Some of them were just an hour ago jamming their guts out in the men's roller derby exhibition.
Yeah.
And straight back up. Oh, Anna WrexYa putting huge hit on SX. Fang Fiend. Yes, Fang Fiend did see a cut. She single cut, and she was fair enough, and was referees finally caught up and saw. So now we have a power jam for Brisbane City Rollers. Florence The Machine.
Yeah, meanwhile, Florence The Machine is racking up the points. A full 5-point jam for her on that pass, but gets sent through for that one.
A back block.
Back block.
Who did she hit? I think she hit Fe-fe Ferocious just as she went round that first turn.
So as Florence takes a seat in the penalty box, Geek doing a wonderful job of jam timing there, sends SX from NBR back onto the track.
Yes, and Jambi follows her out as well.
Oh, and here we go again. This could get interesting for the penalty box because SX has just been sent. Oh, no, we have Florence released already. So SX will be spending some time on the penalty box, and the power jam is shifted back to BCR.
And drink up drinking game, people.
Oh, look out.
Look out indeed. Now on thighs versus Florence. Florence victor on this occasion uses blunt force trauma and extreme strength to get her way past the hind thighs.
Speaking of blunt force, Anna WrexYa is sent to the penalty box once again.
Now, Duchess of Hazard coming in, trying to make a hole with a bit of help there for Fang Fiend, trying to make a hole for Florence the Machine, but she doesn't need a hole. She makes a hole herself.
Makes many holes herself.
Popping a waterfall from Jambi and iron thighs.
Full 5 points for Florence. She certainly is a machine.
She certainly is to take some punishment like that on that dreaded third turn and still remain standing upright.
She gives the punishment, though.
She does give the punishment. Awesome work there from Florence the Machine.
And some consultation from Benchy and for NBR. Raspberry Bullet having a chat to head ref. Number cruncher. We'll see what goes down here.
Honest Dave leaps into action, but decides no.
He shakes it off. No.
He shakes it off. No.
I'm not walking all the way out there. It's hot out there.
Raspberry Presley was heading out to dispute something with the refs, but she didn't.
Oh no, here we go. The dulcet tones of Honest Dove ring across the battledrome saying that Raspberry Bullet was going to ask something of the rest, but then just threw the dummy, decided not to, and walked back.
It was another case of yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Nah. Yeah? Nah.
Nah. Which was the ultimate nah.
Nah.
Now, there's plenty of fans packed down in here too, Dave. Anyone still is around Morayfield and wants to come down, there is still a few seats available in the Morayfield Sports.
I can see at least one.
Yeah, I can see one or two. But
there's more.
There is a big lineup over at the tuck shop, but getting heaps of stuff in them. So Be quick while people are out getting their lunch. Come down and steal their seats.
That's it. Get in while you can, people. Oh, looks like we're going a bit old school here. All the pack moving forward from the pivot line. Vixxxen, number 72, is the sole jammer on track for BCR.
And gets herself a good run-up, but she has to blast through Iron Thighs and Jambi.
That's rocking a hard place right there.
But somehow she managed to go straight around. I
She
think
picks away.
She actually did a huge S, and everyone got confused by that, and now becomes lead jammer, number 72, Vixxxen. That was awesome.
But not for long, we have SX, jammer for NBR, standing in the box, ready to get out on the track and try and get some points for her team.
Yes, but BCR blockers were Swanto. They were watching.
Oh, the defense of NBR, my goodness.
Yes,
forced a foul on Vixxxen.
Iron Thighs did force a foul. She knew she had it. She gets up a sigh of relief when the cut goes on because she was about to just say some words that would not be appropriate for kids to hear, but she got what she wanted, and there was a cut.
She definitely claimed that one. The face lit up, the eyes went wide, the hands are in the air. She was calling to that ref, and she got what she tried for.
And now SX just going a freely around. NBR have now hit the double ton, currently on 203 points. The crowd does like what they see as well. You can hear the screams go around as SX goes around, but just being held up there with Anna WrexYa. And Bloody Lace is doing an awesome job, but Jambi standing right on the line, not moving forward, so no one wants to get risk and out-of-play block. Well, there is a power jam going on with number 180 SX.
And some amazing tactical offensive defense from NBR there as they're holding back, pulling the pack, and some really good bridging work there from BCR as well. And this is a highly tactical jam, this particular one.
Now, Vixxxen, the only way to break that wall up was let Vixxxen come on, and now they takes their eyes back on and concentrate back on her now.
Yeah, Vixxxen almost solely pushing the entire wall of NBR forward for that one. And the refs have got something to say about that.
Yes, they certainly do. Now, two players just getting done right on the dying moments of that. I think it was Bloody Laces might have been pinged through an out-of-play block.
But nevertheless, 4 points to BCR on that pass. And I believe it was 2 to NBR. I didn't quite see that one.
And here we go. First time jamming. She's been doing awesome blocking. So richly awarded number 313, KimboKazee. We've seen her doing awesome backwards reverse blocking and that, but now she is jamming. But was thrust outside by Slaggedy Anne.
And pulls a full 360 pirouette on her toe stops for trouble there. Very graceful, but very technical skating going down from her there. And there's the whip!
Yeah, Brutal Deluxe putting a huge whip on Lil Gee Unit.
Lil Gee Unit, I think she's got sent the entire way, halfway around the track at least with that one.
She did. She did not even have to skate at all. The force that Brutal Deluxe put in that time was amazing.
And she got really low on that one. I think she was nervous with the amount of speed that she got off that whip. In fact, she was super low around that apex.
You don't want to get the speed wobbles.
Nah. Brutal Deluxe putting some big hits on and doing a good job of blocking at the front of the NBR pack there.
Now Slaggedy Anne just forcing KimboKazee out just as he passed the jammer line. KimboKazee trying to do everything he can. There's a few people came down to try and bust a hole through, and straight away busting a hole, Bloody Laces comes straight out of the bin and smashes a hole for KimboKazee, who unfortunately loses her footing, but she's straight back up and in it again for her first initial pass.
Yeah, KimboKazee getting very familiar with the fans there on the suicide seating line. Looks like we've got a few fans of Kimbo watching online at the moment, and she's doing an amazing job. I hope she's keeping those fans happy. I know she's keeping us happy, entertaining us with the thrills and spills up here in the commentary box.
Yeah, Lil Gee Unit deciding to call it off just as KimboKazee approaches the back of the pack, so reducing her to no score on this occasion. But Duchess of Hazard not let to be done out, wants to come in and get some point going action herself, and joined up there by 505 Brandee Snaps for Northern Brisbane Rollers Brawl Stars.
Florence The Machine sitting on the outside of the pack as pivot for BCR. Pushes in with a classic sweep. Duchess ducking, weaving, pushing to the inside again.
But once again, On Thighs is stuck to her like nothing else. And still bringing on the punishment, getting their own jammer through.
And Florence doing a beautiful job there of forcing a penalty on the jammer for NBR. Meanwhile, Duchess gets a power jam all to herself.
Has to go yield all the way back behind Dicey Riley, but still has a power jam.
And Bloody Lace is doing a beautiful job of sweeping NBR blockers to the outside there, letting Duchess through for for her initial pass, it looks like.
And she's coming very quickly back around for her first potential point-scoring pass. Decides to go wide, goes around the outside, but still, On Thighs comes from nowhere as usual.
Beautiful work there, but Iron Thighs didn't want to let her have that one easy, did she?
No, she must have eyes in her shoulders, On Thighs. I would not be surprised if she did. And once again, going back into On Thighs as well. Doing a reverse block. Fe-fe Ferocious, On Thighs holding up a huge big wall there. Now having to yield all the way back behind Fe-fe Ferocious. Fe-fe Ferocious is trying to hide her there, so Bloody Lace is holding her back so she cannot retreat anymore back.
Good job, Bloody Laces. Some good defensive work from BCR that we're seeing all day today.
Yeah, Duchess has a huge big trip over On Thighs. But out of nowhere from the blocks.
And BCR racking up some points there, up to 79 now.
Yeah, Brandee Snaps was released, so all jammers, and I don't think there is anyone in the penalty box.
And Naughty Courty, number 40, jamming for NBR on this one.
And Veruccassault, number 68 for Brisbane City Rollers. Now we're down to our last 11 minutes left, Derby fans.
And BCR with a one-up advantage as far as blockers concerned on this one. We have one pivot in the bin. Oh, no. And Naughty Courty, number 40, before she even gets past the point of no return line from the pivot, she's sent to the penalty box, serving a minute. So it's a power jam.
Yeah, Brutal Deluxe making Veruccassault yield all the way back almost halfway down track and meets up with Brutal Deluxe again. Brutal Deluxe just going shoulder to shoulder. The action on the derby track. Brutal Deluxe still not letting up. Getting a bit of help there from Trauma Junkie, but it's still copying it from Brutal Deluxe. Does she not give up?
Massive hit from Brutal Deluxe there, right on the inside there.
Oh, she has got through now for her initial pass. And the lead jammer has
dance
swapped.
Moves from our jammer ref now.
And goes through again. No one really saw it, but Veruccassault is still putting up some defense. And yeah, Trauma Junkie and Brutal Deluxe now forming up a wall. Cannot get past Veruccassault, cannot get past Trauma Junkie. Now we have On Thighs coming up to help out a little bit as well, but still Brutal Deluxe, Trauma Junkie.
Trauma Junkie creating a one-woman wall almost the entire way through that apex there, just holding up play so that her other blockers could get up and join her.
And
doing the work of an entire team right there.
Pretty much she is. And while all that happened, Naughty Courty, number 40, just rolled her way through. Yeah, but it was her only first initial pass, so no points there for Naughty Courty. But so much action happening.
And the crowd is building further and further here at Namore Field Action Centre. That suicide line is pretty much jam-packed at the moment. But there's still plenty of seating left up in the stands behind them. So, folks, get on down here if you're able to. And come and check out the action. There's some comments on the feed saying, man, I would hate to be a ref. It would be so hard and stressful from BB King hit. True that. This is an intense game, and being third and fourth place for the final, this is a heavy one.
Yeah, you got number 41, Lil Gee Unit has gone through for initial pass. No one really saw it, but now she is going through for her first scoring pass, and she gets herself 5 ultimate points because Brisbane City Rollers are in the penalty box for a moment, and there is a power jam happening as we speak, Derby fans. Now it's down to under almost 8 minutes left.
Naughty Courty, the number 40 there. spending some time just on one foot.
But KimboKazee again, strong as up the front. And now KimboKazee comes back around and getting better help with her and Vixxxen, trying to put some pain on Lil Gee Unit.
And they did inflict a bit of pain there, but G Unit managed to get through eventually, and she's taken another lap around facing the wall of BCR, but just slips right around the outside for a full 5 points.
Yes, throws the dummy to Unforgiving Bunny and just steps right around her on the outside. Now, BCR going back, trying to force penalties.
And the fans will be happy. Bloody Laces, number 2, and Florence The Machine at Jammer have joined us back on the track. So there should be, there's a clear bench at the moment. So all girls on the track, all action is happening there.
Another 4 points there for Lil Gee Unit.
Florence The Machine fighting hard to get through that pack, but the blockers from NBR not relenting at all and giving her all the grief they possibly can.
Yeah.
Bloody Lace is doing a fine job of opening up a gap there for Florence, but not quick enough before the whistle, and she scores no points on that one. 3 points for BCR.
Now there seems a little bit of confusion going. Who wants to take Janosaurus Wrecks passing the panty on to Brandee Snaps? But now we have Fang Fiend, number 11 for BCR, and Brandee Snaps, number 505, jamming for Northern Brisbane Rollers.
Yeah, Fang Fiend hadn't had quite as many jams today as Brandee Snaps for this afternoon. And Brandee Snaps showing that experience, pushing through. Have we just lost power in here?
I think we have just lost some lights.
So sorry about. Oh, it looks like the news feed, the DNN feed.
No, DNN feed's
is coping well with it, but the lights just went off in the house here.
And it is quite dark, but the jamming action is still happening. I wonder if it will get called off in the near future, because I can, up in the dark, can barely see up here, but it looks all right.
Franken Crunt online says it's mood lighting, boys.
It is mood lighting. It is mood lighting.
Absolutely. But the mood is tense here, so I'm not sure it fits.
No.
I think it's just trying to make it scary. It's more like a horror house lighting.
It's like some sort of like...
We need some bad strobes and a guy in a bad plastic costume to jump out at us at the moment, I think.
But you can see, on Derby fans online, you can sort of see it. Nothing much has really changed, but it is quite a little bit dark here. So I think he's having a timeout just to see what is going on with yonder lights.
Serial killer lighting, Clint Sinatra Rose says.
Here we go, the lights are coming back on now.
Someone lent on the switch, yeah.
Someone lent on the switch. They're just starting to warm up again. We've got 4 on, but the other 40 lights are just starting to warm up now.
Actually, it cooled down for a second there when those lights went off.
Video Bob not liking what he sees. He wants pure, crisp, HD stuff with lights to go. Stream from us to you. Here we go. Lights coming back on as we speak, Derby fans. Won't be long
Let there be light, and there was.
Yeah, someone said that once, I think. But now
I think I'm quoting someone else there.
Now I believe for the first time tonight, Brutal Deluxe, number 76 for Northern Brisbane Rollers Brawl Stars, taking on number 2, Bloody Laces. And the booties have broke already, Bloody Laces.
Oh, Bloody Lace is doing a fantastic job. Mantastic? No, I hope not.
No,
fantastic job of pushing up on the inside there, getting lead jammer for her initial pass. And let's see what she can do with that as she chases the pack coming around the bed. It is quite a fast pack on this particular jam.
There's KimboKazee and ThundaPuss up there trying to do the best they can to block NBR's jammer, and they are. But Onthies comes in and smashes a hole, and at the same time keeps Bloody Laces, and with the help there from Trauma Junkie.
And some massive hits right in the front corner here in front of the commentary box. Trauma Junkie cops a bit of a namesake. Got hit so hard she got whipped around 360 before she managed to hit the floor. That was hectic.
Yes.
We have a jammer in the box too.
We do. All this action is happening, which gives Brisbane City Rollers another 5 points. Bloody Laces. All those fans are worried about Bloody Laces. Look at her go at this moment. She has scored 10 points so far and is approaching the back of the pack. Hungry for more. BCR at 94, almost hitting 100 with 4 minutes left.
I think you could almost attribute Bloody Laces has come back out there with a renewed vigour and energy after that big hit that she copped earlier. It's almost like some of those king fighters in boxing and other fighting sports where they don't really start getting into the game until they've had a few hits to the head.
No, that's exactly right. But Iron forcing a bit of a mistake on Bloody Laces, so she has got to cut the track and is setting in. But ThundaPuss, KimboKazee down there holding up. Brutal Deluxe as best they can. ThundaPuss still putting on the pain.
A tight pack there for BCR, making it hard for NBR to get through.
Yeah, ThundaPuss quickly coming around to line up again, but the jam was called off because it timed out. It was a full 2-minute jam that time. Now, Derby fans, we're down to 3.5 minutes left in this.
Oh, wow. Where has the time gone?
Where has the time gone? The battle for third. BCR, 97 points. 3 more points off 100. NBR, 261 points. At this stage, what will happen? A couple of jams left. Naughty Courty, number 40, is still jamming by herself.
And we've got some comments online. They're keen to see BCR crack the 100 mark, and I reckon it might happen.
I definitely reckon it will happen. Only 3 more points left. Bloody Lace is still sitting there, must only be a second. Geek is watching over and back. He will have this time down to 0.1 to the power of a million for that second. And here he goes. Bloody Lace is standing up, getting ready to exit. I don't think anyone has noticed her standing up yet.
Yeah, as Naughty Courty pushes up to the back of the block line from BCR, gets ejected.
NBR has noticed they're starting to come back to form up a wall, but now Bloody Laces getting...
Bloody Laces putting some big hits on her own there.
That's it. Not shy.
Not shy at all. Not afraid of a big hit, as we've seen throughout this entire match. And as she's pushing around the outside, she's just pushing her way through. And there's that blunt trauma that she's using once again very effectively.
And Bloody Laces has managed to barge her way through. And the crowd does love what they see. And she now has a chance for a power jam. I was super busy watching Bloody Laces. I didn't actually see what happened to the NBR jammer.
Yeah.
But Bloody Laces now has a chance for a power jam. And she's doing everything she can to bludge her way through.
This is her chance to crack that 100 mark. If she pushes through here, she'll be cracking it quite easily.
33 seconds still left in this jam.
Bloody Laces being forced to yield, though. Gets pushed inside the track.
Yeah, Long Lash Massacre
dropping the shoulder.
A brutal job as a
There's
pivot.
pieces flying off the players. There's bits and pieces on the court.
Are they teeth?
I'm not sure. Possibly somebody's.
Oh no, whatever it was.
Just check lost properly later,
Sergeant
people.
Pepper just threw it out the door, so whatever it was, it will be found later.
We can match it to your dental records. Bloody Lace has been sent before she could crack that 100 mark.
There's so much pressure put on there by Long Lash Massacre, just forcing a little bit of an accident. I think she did make contact with Long Lash Massacre. Yes, Long Lash Massacre looks happy as she comes around.
And that right there is a true testament of the NBR defense today. BCR had the opportunity to score a multitude of points on a power jam, but when you come up against a tough defense like NBR, no points awarded. And that's the story on that one.
Well, what a turnout now. Here we go, Naughty Courty. Number 40 has her own power jam at the moment, but...
preparing herself to getting on the track by taking a spill before she even gets on there.
No, it's just
warming up.
It's a stunt.
Sorry. But she was just warming up, I think. Just checking that those floorboards are nice and polished down there.
Yes, they certainly are.
Closer inspection.
Oh, huge hit there.
And Naughty Courty getting done for track cut too.
Oh, here we go.
There was one toe stopper inside the line and she get done for a track cut. So Naughty Courty back to the bin. Here's the opportunity for BCR. They've cracked the 102 mark. Let's see how much more they can put up on the board with 5 seconds to go.
Here we go. There's still a minute and 8 left on the jam clock. Bloody Laces has a minute and 40. Wreak as much carnage as she has because NBR will probably be in the penalty box for the rest of this jam. So it's all Bloody Laces' floor. But what they're going to do, Brutal Deluxe is skating us back as fast as she can. Did not want to risk a cut, so he had to yield all the way back. But at the front, There's On Thighs, Lil Gee Unit, Janosaurus Wrecks doing all they can to defend against Bloody Laces, but she is flew for her initial pass. With still 35 seconds left on the clock.
Bloody Laces lead jammer, well, only jammer currently, but we do have 90-40 number courty. Oh, wow.
It all rhymes too much. It is hard,
does.
chips and gravy. It is hard.
Maybe she could work it out for me, and then I'll get Torty.
Now, Naughty Courty just coming on at the last seconds of the jam. And that is the end. That is the unofficial. I thought actually someone's going to come in and quickly yell a timeout, but no, it did not happen. So at the moment, BCR 102, NBR 206. It is still the unofficial final.
And Naughty Courty number 40 trying to head out on track to get a few more points there, but Naughty Courty got caught shorty and didn't quite make them. And there we go, folks, and it's terrible.
Certainly a wordsmith, chips and gravy. Certainly a word. It's like photographians and things like that.
Yes, and all the fans heading up trackside to show their support and show their love and share some skin with all the Derby girls. The cries going up from BCR. Some proud girls there, and girls who've done some fantastic work today. And as I said earlier, the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect the energy and effort and ability put in by skaters from both teams.
Oh, it certainly does not. A BCR putting in a huge big job today.
Fighting all the way through to the end, not giving up for a second there, which just shows the integrity and work that these girls have put in to this in preparation. And BCR taking a knee as a show of respect to NBR as the victors head out for their victory lap. The lineup for NBR today has been Dicey Riley at 11H, SX 180, Stixx N Bones 182, Beth Adder number 20, Iron Thighs a crowd favourite today at 244, Rockatelli 268, Fe-fe Ferocious number 3, Jambi at 32, Long Lash Massacre 357, Cherie Todd at number 4, Naughty Courty number 40, Lil Gee Unit 41, star jammer today, Trauma Junkie 42, Brandee Snaps 505 putting in the hard yards, Janosaurus Wrecks with the big hits at number 65, Brutal Deluxe living up to her namesakes number 76, Slaggedy Anne 711, Annabelle Lecter and Crystal Mess, Beth Adder the captain today, Annabelle Lecter the alternate, and Raspberry Bullet and Rogue Gun on the bench for the NBR team.
And now the fourth place getters for the Tropicarnage Cup 2013 Brisbane City Rollers, Punk Blockers, number 11, Fang Fiend, number 13, Wonder Witch, number 14, ThundaPuss, number 162, Florence The Machine, number 2, Bloody Laces, 22, Duchess of Hazard, 242, Little Murder Maid was on the team, did not come in, as was number 12, Under Siege. And I believe same as 29 Knoxville, but 313 KimboKazee, 32 Slasher Scarebear, 40 Unforgiving Bunny, 68 Veruccassault, 78 Anna WrexYa, and 999 Narsty. And the captain for today was number 72 Vixxxen with bench manager Ace Vegas and Nurse Devastator. I think they just made up names because we all know it was Raspberry Bullet.
I think so. She's taken on another persona all day today. Almost every time I see her, I think there's another one, isn't there?
So I think
a costume change and a name change.
2 today, I think. Costume changes already.
Is that all right? We need to get some stats on the costume changes going down for Raspberry Bullet today. We should get that up on the newsfeed scoreboard. Let's leave that to a nerd to calculate all that stuff. Meat Biscuit, it seems that you're getting a bit of love on the chat feed from Cleo Smactra. She loves your guts.
Okay, Cleo Smactra, a former member of my beloved Toowoomba City Rollers team. Thanks, Vivian. I hope the action has been great for you viewing today.
And Praying Mandy brought up a good point. 88-75, the second half was the scores. G'day, guys.
Smactra, how is it going?
Tightly fought second half there. Amazing game to watch, and there's a bit of chat going on the news feed there also for the next game we've got coming up. First place, second place, it's going to be a tightly contested one.
The playoff for the ultimate gold-coated plastic trophy that is the Tropicarnage Cup, which we will see very shortly because Honest Dave will be displaying it to the crowd. It may be the last time Honest Dave's team will be touching this because there might be an upset from Paradise City, which is what we have to stick around for, Derby fans, just to see what happens. And yes, hello, Petty's mum, I can see you as well. I can see your daughter from here. Have a real good day. This is Meat Biscuit signing off because I'm going to go see some action that's getting ready for the title bout.
And this is Chips and Gravy. I'm out because I got to head down to the penalty box for the final.
Ooh.
That's going to be tense. A little bit of weight on my shoulders I'm feeling right now. A little bit of nerves, a little bit of tension. The pits are getting sweaty already. Actually, no, they've been like that all day. But it's going to be a tightly fought one post. So please tune in at 3 o'clock. We will have the grand final of the Tropicarnage Cup. There's a whole lot of fake plastic and gold platedness on the line here, as well as pride and dignity and the honour of calling yourself number one.
That's it. And you will have also the honour of being broadcast to live by the two Johnnies, Johnny Smash and Johnny Pistol.
Who doesn't need some double Johnnies in their life?
No. Two Johnnies is better than two Ronnies, I can tell you that.
All right, well, we're out of here, folks. Go and get yourself a drink, but be back at 3 o'clock for where all the action is at this afternoon. And it's going to be fun.
Not a problem at all. And we are signing out right now.
Yeah, right now.
Over to Video Bob to
Chips
press
out.
the button.